Welcome to my multimedia presentation for the module Teaching Subject Mastery 1. I will be doing this presentation on Leaving Certificate History. To begin this presentation, I'll start with a brief introduction as to what topic I chose and the rationale for choosing that topic. In the end, I decided to choose topic 6 from the syllabus, which is the United States and the World 1945 to 1989. More specifically, I chose to look at troubled affluence and racial conflict. The reasons I chose this topic are race relations are contemporary. If we see in the United States currently, racial tensions are turbulent. This topic allows us to gain a deeper understanding as to why this is and why racial conflict occurs. It also highlights discrimination in America. America was a deeply segregated country, and this topic allows us to explore desegregation. It also allows students to gain a better understanding of racial tensions which are still present today in the United States. This allows us to draw direct comparisons from 1945 to 1989 to modern day America. This topic is intended for a fifth-year group and is suitable for both higher and ordinary levels. I've set out two clear learning intentions for this topic. 1. To evaluate how desegregation occurred and investigate the reasons why. And 2. Recognize Martin Luther King Jr. as a key figure in gaining civil rights for black people. I've ensured that these learning intentions are in student-friendly language, so the students feel that the learning is accessible to them. This can also give students confidence and lends itself well to a scaffolded approach to learning. I believe that by sharing learning intentions with students, it can trigger motivation while also helping students to stay focused on the learning. At the end of a lesson, students should have a sense of achievement by looking at the learning intentions. To start this introductory lesson, I will pre-teach key terms, such as desegregation and discrimination. Pre-teaching these key terms will give students confidence heading into the topic, while also reinforcing concepts which may be difficult for some students to grasp. I will then start with a hook. The hook in this case will be a brief video outlining race relations in the United States today. After this, we will take a look at the KWL chart and ask the students what they think they know about the topic and what they want to know about the topic. As we move on to the middle of the lesson, we will look at two key developments. Development 1 will be a Venn diagram in group work. The Venn diagram will be split up into two separate sections. 1. The United States 1945 to 1989 and the United States today. Students will then be asked to note societal differences in both periods of history. Development 2 then will be station teaching. This station teaching will involve students going around and analysing newspapers from different periods of time. Students will then be asked to note one new thing they learned and one thing they found interesting. After both developments are complete, we will move on to the end of the lesson, where students will be asked to complete the KWL chart. We will then find out what the students learned, while also having peer reflection and a class discussion on reflection. It is important that nothing new is discussed in this section, and that this section is kept for reflection and to discuss what the students have learned in the class. This slide will take a look at how key skills will be developed. I have highlighted 3 key skills which will be developed throughout this topic. First, literacy and numeracy. By pre-teaching key terms and reinforcing such terms, it will increase students' literacy development in this subject. Content. There is also an emphasis on numeracy through the Venn diagram activity. Students will work on their logical and reasoning skills by sorting data in a visual yet numerical manner. Another key skill is analyzing sources. Students are becoming the historian through the station learning. They are analyzing sources firsthand and thinking critically about the reliability of the source as a historical document. Finally, another key skill which will be developed in this topic is recognizing change and continuity in history. This skill is imperative for a history student. Students are recognizing patterns and assessing historical change while also making their own informed judgment. There may be many difficulties when teaching this topic. This slide will look at some of the challenges and the solutions to those challenges that may arise when teaching this topic. It may be a sensitive topic for some students, as in some shape or form they may have experienced racism in their own lives at some stage. It is therefore important to provide a safe environment for students to voice their opinions and also feel listened to. It also might be hard for some students to remain objective and impartial, as they may feel very strongly on this subject. It is imperative for the teacher to provide a wide variety of historical sources, while also showing empathy skills in the classroom and have a mutual respect between teacher and student. I have used lots of group work activities for this topic and lesson. It might be very difficult to ensure all students are getting involved in group activities. A solution to this would be to give each group member a specific role in the group, while it also might be a good idea to pick the group yourselves to ensure a working group dynamic. This topic has a few cross-curriculum links. Cross-curriculum learning is important because it is an effective way to transfer skills from a wide variety of subjects. If we begin by taking a look at CSPE, where it is studied in junior cycle, they learn about citizenship. CSPE promotes young people to be an active citizen, while also enabling young people in contemporary culture. This topic teaches young people and students to be informed citizens. Moreover, if we look at English students are exposed to a wide variety of texts, books, and plays. So it is important for English students to have an awareness of different contexts in order for them to think critically. To conclude this multimedia presentation, I've made a brief summary to the learning and teaching approaches which are incorporated throughout this presentation. Firstly, the skills developed in this topic are specific to the subject. The pedagogical approach to teaching and learning are collaborative and reflective and focused on inquiry-based learning. Students are active agents in their own learning. And finally, students are at the heart of their own learning through a variety of structured group and paired work, which will essentially lead to metacognition.